4 sessions on different topics. The first session on trends in terrorist financing is going to be chaired by the Honorable Home Minister and the Cooperation Minister. He will be delivering his address in this. This is a very important topic, and he'll be chairing this session, and then he'll be delivering his address at this on this topic. This is tomorrow in the forenoon, 11 o'clock, 11:30 actually, and then 11 o'clock. And then in the afternoon, we have another session on formal and informal ways of terror financing, which is going to be chaired by Minister of State for Finance, for Revenue. This is use of official and unofficial channels in financing of terrorism. So this is the second session, and the third, so this is tomorrow on the 18th. And on the 19th, we have 2 more sessions. The session 3 of the conference is on emerging technologies and terrorist financing. And this session will be chaired by Minister of State for Home, Mr. Nityanand Rai-ji, and this is 9:30 on the 19th. And this will talk of technologies. There's a lot of new technologies, new financing channels have come up since the last conference in 2019, and digital assets, cryptocurrencies, and all that. So that's a very, very crucial topic and subject. And then the fourth session, session 4 of the conference, which is about international cooperation, the need to strengthen international cooperation to tackle terrorism financing. So that session is being chaired by the Honorable External Affairs Minister at 19th afternoon. And the concluding session is going to be chaired by the Honorable Home Minister and the Cooperation Minister again, and where he is going to be delivering his concluding address and talking about reviewing the proceedings of the conference, and then he'll be talking about the subject. That is 19th evening, and that is the concluding part of the conference. All major countries are participating in this conference from all continents, and in fact this conference is kind of fits in with 2 other conferences which took place almost back to back in India. One is the Interpol conference, the Interpol General Assembly, which took place recently, and followed by the United Nations Counter-Terrorism Committee meeting in Mumbai and in New Delhi, and this is the third in the series in that sense. So the topic of international terrorism and terrorism financing is very significant and crucial for India. And so that is the reason why there's so much focus being brought on this by the Honorable Prime Minister and the Honorable Home Minister and the Cooperation Minister. And so this conference is being held as a result of the efforts of these efforts. So thank you very much for joining us here, and you're 69.
Sir, I'm Rahul from ET. My question is related to since this conference is taking place almost after a gap of 2 years. So in these 2 years, there have been 2 important developments. One in Afghanistan, Taliban taking over Afghanistan. The second has been recently delisting of Pakistan. So how much it is a challenge for India and Indian agencies, given the fact that large quantity of drugs have been seized on the rivers and on the border and the international border. So will you be taking this up in the upcoming conference?
It's as you know that it's almost about 73 countries and 15 multilateral organizations are participating, and it's a very wide range of topics are going to be covered. And as the structuring of the conference is such where almost all countries are going to be getting an opportunity to speak. So almost all topics, whether it is drugs, or because all of these they eventually converge into, they have narco terrorism cases we've seen in India, and in fact there are quite a few cases which the NIA is also investigating. There are other state police forces like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Punjab, etc., who also investigating these cases of narco terrorism where proceeds of drugs are funneled into carrying out terrorist acts and activities. So pretty much I think it's a very wide-ranging conference. Of course, the focus of the conference is international terrorist financing, but a whole lot of these issues I'm sure will be discussed and addressed. All these issues will be addressed in this conference.
16.
Good evening, sir. Arunima from CNN News 18. Sir, kindly confirm if Pakistan and China have confirmed their participation, and if so, will it be a ministerial level delegation from these two countries?
Pakistan is not participating in this conference, and I think as so far China also, we don't have I think the confirmations which are still coming in, and I think I'll need to check on whether China is going to be participating in this. No, they're not participating in this conference.
67.
सर, मेरा नाम मनीष शुक्ला है, मैं जी न्यूज़ से हूँ। ये जो कॉन्फ्रेंस है सर, ऐसे समय हो रही है जब हम लगातार देख रहे हैं कि जो खालिस्तानी जो पंजाब में जो एलिमेंट्स हैं उनको बाहर के देशों से फंडिंग हो रही है। ये कॉन्फ्रेंस भी इसी टॉपिक पर है। कश्मीर में भी हम देख रहे हैं कि लगातार जो टेररिस्ट ग्रुप है, भले NIA ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया, लेकिन उन्होंने नए मीडियम ढूंढ लिए हैं फंडिंग के। क्या ये जो मुद्दा है इस बारे में भी कोई बात होगी, और आप चूंकि पर्सनली देखते हैं कई केसेस को, ये कितना बड़ा कंसर्न है?
देखिए, ये कंसर्न है, बिल्कुल कंसर्न है। चाहे हम किसी भी थिएटर की बात करें, तो चाहे पंजाब की बात हो, कश्मीर की बात हो, तो इसीलिए टेररिस्ट फाइनेंसिंग जो है एक बहुत बड़ा अहम मुद्दा है, क्रिटिकल मुद्दा है, और इसके बारे में हमारी चर्चा होगी। इसके जो ट्रेडिशनल मेथड्स हैं जो फाइनेंसिंग के थे, चाहे हवाला था, दूसरी चीज़ें थी, और हमारे पास इन चीज़ों का एविडेंस भी है कि पैसा बाहर से आया, कोई MTSS चैनल से आया, कोई वेस्टर्न यूनियन से आया, मनीग्राम से आया, कुछ किसी के खाते में पैसा डाल दिया गया ताकि, और वहाँ से पैसा उठा लिया गया। इसके प्रमाण मिले हैं। तफ्तीश जो केसेस की हुई है, NIA ने भी की है, दूसरे स्टेट पुलिस फोर्सेस ने भी की है। तो इन सब मुद्दों पे जो नए तरह के तरीके जो एजाज हो रहे हैं, हुए हैं, और प्लस जो ट्रेडिशनल चैनल्स हैं, कैश कोरियर हैं, क्राउड फंडिंग है, इन सभी नए तरीकों पे चर्चा होगी इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में।
13.
हेलो, मेरा नाम प्रशांत है, News 24 से। अभी जैसे कि आपने बताया कि अफगानिस्तान और पाकिस्तान पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर रहे हैं और चाइना अभी कंफर्मेशन नहीं है। हम इंडिया का कंसर्न इन्हीं दो कंट्री से सबसे ज़्यादा है, खासकर पाकिस्तान से, टेररिज्म रिलेटेड चीज़ों को लेके। उनके एब्सेंस में आपकी ये पूरी कॉन्फ्रेंस कितनी महत्वपूर्ण होगी, और जो लोग इस कंट्री में पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे, क्या पाकिस्तान को लेकर कोई विशेष चर्चा करने की योजना है आपका? जितने पाक ऑपरेटेड टेररिज्म इंडिया में हो रहे हैं सीमा पार से, उस पर लेकर कुछ?
देखिए, इसमें कोई विशेष देश के बारे में चर्चा कोई ऐसी कोई रखी नहीं गई है, लेकिन सब देश जो हैं उनके प्रतिनिधि जो आएंगे, करीब 20 से ऊपर इसमें मिनिस्टर्स पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं। तो क्योंकि सबको मौका मिल रहा है, तो सभी जो भी इश्यूज हैं, ज्वलंत इश्यूज हैं, जहाँ से भी थ्रेट आ रही है, जहाँ से भी पैसा आ रहा है, जहाँ से भी खतरा है आतंकवाद का, सो उसके बारे में चर्चा बिल्कुल होगी, और खुले उससे होगी। इस पे कोई लिमिटेशंस नहीं है, कोई भी देश कुछ भी कह सकता है, और सभी जो देश और मल्टीलैटरल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं 78 जो हैं उनको पूरा बोलने का अधिकार है, और सब मुझे क्योंकि काफ़ी 2 दिन की कॉन्फ्रेंस है और सभी मुद्दे इसमें कवर किए जाएंगे।
11.
So myself Gautam from ETV Bharat. Sir, you are organizing this conference at a time when security agencies are claiming that terrorism in India is decreasing. Do you think that terror financing is increasing globally, especially in India, and if so, what is the quantity, sir?
I mean, this is what you mentioned about the reduction in terrorism in India, and it's not a question of claim. I mean, these are hard facts. There is no doubt that terrorist activity, terrorist acts, there has been quite a huge reduction over the last, maybe one can say 6 to 8 years. There has been a huge reduction in both, whether in all areas, all theaters of, conflict and violent extremism. Whether it is Kashmir, whether it is Punjab, whether it is left-wing extremism in India, northeast, etc. So in all theaters there has been a reduction. It's a matter of fact. So it's not a question of claim or anything. So, but of course this is a battle which has to be fought, and it's something which one can't wish it away. So we have to strengthen our infrastructure, our mechanisms, our frameworks to fight this menace of international global terrorism and terrorism financing also. So this is a battle which goes on, and I mean that's what we have seen, and so we have to be ready. We are in a very we are located in the way we are located in the world. So this is a challenge. It's going to be a challenge, and for which we have to be prepared. And this conference has to be seen in the context of our preparations to fight terrorism in India, and get all the countries together and enlist the cooperation of other countries to address this menace.
One last question we'll take.
Good afternoon. I'm Elena from TASS News Agency, from Russian state-run news agency. My first question is, are there any plans on adoption of some final documents after this conference by the participants? And as I represent Russian news agency, can you say a few words on the cooperation between India and Russia in fighting with the finance of terrorism? Thank you.
Okay, can you paraphrase this? This is the cooperation between Russia and India in...
She perhaps wants to know that
will there be... this issue in fighting finance of terrorism. Cooperation between India and Russia, how do you assess this cooperation between my country and India?
Hi.
What matter?
We have Secretary West also with...
ਤਾਂ NIA ਦੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਕਾਨਫਰੰਸ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ NIA ਦੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਕਾਨਫਰੰਸ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਟੈਰਰ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਮੁੱਦੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਾਨਫਰੰਸ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 75 ਦੇਸ਼ਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਡੈਲੀਗੇਟ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਲੈਣਗੇ। ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਲੈਵਲ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਟੈਰਰਿਜ਼ਮ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਫਾਈਨੈਂਸਿੰਗ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਮੁੱਦੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਕਾਨਫਰੰਸ ਹੋਏਗੀ। ਟੈਰਰ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਨਵੇਂ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵਰਤੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਰੋਕਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ, ਇਸ ਮੁੱਦੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਾਨਫਰੰਸ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ NIA ਨੇ 18 ਤੇ 19 ਨਵੰਬਰ ਨੂੰ। ਉਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਬਤ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਕਾਨਫਰੰਸ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ।